Hi everybody, welcome to BlackAmericana. I'm Ashley, and in today's episode we are celebrating Complex Simplicity by Teedra Moses. Beyond being a classic body of work, Teedra is truly a blueprint for R&B artists in the digital age. So we're going to talk about the album's impact, origins, and why it remains so special. So if you're ready, keep watching. Teedra was born in New Orleans, Louisiana, and spent her adolescence in Los Angeles, California. While a teenager in LA, she met and fell in love with John Austin II, a rapper best known as Ras Kass. He introduced her to a lot of ideas musically, with the golden age of hip-hop shaping the artistry of both. The two welcomed twin sons, Taj and Ras, in 1996. Teedra loved music but avoided pursuing it. A series of events changed her life. She and Ras broke up, leaving Teedra devastated as she wanted her family. Teedra worked within a fashion collective spearheaded by her best friend Nonja McKenzie, which allowed her to help style artists like R. Kelly, Will Smith, and No Doubt. One day while she was styling a music video, she rolled down a heel and broke her femur bone. And in October 2001, her mother Shirley passed away. In the midst of all of these changes, she prayed for God to show her a way to support her children. By November 2001, she began working on her album. As Teedra and Ras were breaking up, she asked him to suggest producers to her. One of the suggestions was Polly Paul. Polly offered her a track, and Teedra wrote the lyrics to what ended up being the first song completed for her album, Caught Up. Teedra's album was crafted with a trifecta of Teedra songwriting, Polly producing, and Schaefer Smith, later to be known as R&B star Ne-Yo, arranging. Although Teedra and Polly had a great chemistry, they often butted heads. Ne-Yo was the mediator in these moments. Using Caught Up as a reference point, Teedra also reflected on her childhood when recording the album. She drew from childhood influences like Angela Winbush, Chaka Khan, and Anita Baker. In fact, Teedra's signature song, Be Your Girl, was inspired by Anita's work in the group Chapter 8 with the song I Just Wanna Be Your Girl. Her most contemporary influence was Aaliyah's Rock the Boat, a minimalistic groove. Teedra's album had been done more than a year before she signed to a label. Many labels passed because they were not interested in a completed album, but they wanted certain songs for other artists, hence how Teedra became a songwriter. An independent label named TBT Records agreed to take the album as completed and signed her. She decided to title her album Complex Simplicity. When she described the album in an interview with Sophisticate's Black Hair magazine, she said, quote, "It's really simple but raw and more complicated than you expect it to be. It's complex simplicity. People think I say it all the time to plug my album, but I really don't. Complex simplicity is really my life. When I was writing this album, I lost my mom and I broke up with the guy I was with for a very long time. But God put me on a different path from all of that pain and trauma, and out came this beautiful album and this beautiful experience. At the end of the day, I learned I'm not by myself. It really wasn't as complicated as I was making it out to be at the time." Now, Teedra's album comes out in 2004, so let's talk about the R&B landscape of that time. In 2004, neo soul is still a thing but in decline. It is a label that many from that era shunned, but it was a marketing tactic to sell soul music to a generation now fully vested in hip-hop. To an extent, Teedra met these criteria, but in many ways she didn't. Neo soul came with a certain aesthetic, earthy, natural, and no fuss. Teedra presented urban luxury, like on her Complex Simplicity album cover. She overlooks the skyline from a high-rise condo while wearing Christian Louboutin heeled sandals and her red dress cinched with a Gucci belt. The music video for Be Your Girl extended that image. Neo-soul artists didn't prance around penthouses wearing silk garments or be driven around Times Square in a Maybach while wearing fur. Her album had nostalgia weave through it, but it didn't feel as if she was chasing the sound of generations past. Instead, it felt more like she was drawing from her own past for strength and wisdom. So in short, Teedra was not a traditional neo-soul artist, but in a world of labels and sometimes lazy music journalism, she was pegged as such. The industry didn't know where to put her. Part of Teedra's appeal is that she is a graceful hustler. She kept a vision for herself that the industry didn't have for her. Teedra continued to write for other artists like Christina Milian's hit record, Dip It Low. Still, she had yet to make much money from publishing. She was feeling the financial stress and decided to have her boys live with their grandmother while she lived with a friend. Teedra had been advised not to sell her publishing, but she was ready for some relief. She contacted her attorney to negotiate selling her publishing, but her attorney disagreed with the terms. As the sale was in limbo, Teedra received a nearly $350,000 check for Dip It Low. From there, more large checks from her publishing came. She was finally able to provide a better life for her children and herself. Teedra has told the story to emphasize the importance of owning and controlling your intellectual property. She continued to write for singers like Mary J. Blige and Teedra Marie. She also wrote Trina's Here We Go, featuring Kelly Rowland, which is Trina's biggest hit as a lead artist. Teedra also began to build a stellar reputation as a touring artist. Her shows are known for their intimacy, honesty, and her ability to direct her band. Though Complex Simplicity is not reflected as a traditional commercial success, the album established a personal sound, look, and standard, components that often take other artists years to develop. To commemorate her success, she released a celebratory mixtape called The Young Hustler Compilation, where her peers congratulated her and Teedra remixed some of her songs, provided some unreleased tracks, and included songs she had written for others. With these highs, Teedra definitely had some lows. Her father, Michael, passed in 2005. Despite the pain, she continued to push through with performances and album promotion. Teedra also admitted she had to adjust to prosperity. She had gone from having nothing to having multiple homes and cars and realized she needed to readapt to the unpredictability of the music business. In 2005, she was hit with a lawsuit over the song Dip It Low. Polly Paul produced the song and Teedra wrote the lyrics to the finished track. The song contained an obscure sample that was not properly cleared, and the owners of the sample song sued Teedra, Polly, Christina Milian, and other parties. Although Teedra had nothing to do with the sample, the case dragged on for over 2 years, and she settled with the plaintiffs in 2007 for about $65,000. However, the case would do great damage to the careers of Polly Paul and Christina Milian, somewhat altering the legacy of the song. As she prepared to release a follow-up album, TBT Records was in peril, eventually filing for bankruptcy in 2008. From that time onwards, Teedra has mostly been an independent artist. Complex Simplicity is more than just a classic album. It was a tectonic shift in the landscape of R&B. You might not be able to exactly pinpoint when it happened, but decades later, it cannot be denied it repositioned the genre. It became a litmus test of Black cosmopolitan life. If you were up on Complex Simplicity, you were viewed as appreciating the classics, but being against the status quo. An R&B connoisseur with some edge, but values sophistication. Indeed, the album lived up to its title. The songs have aged beautifully, so much so that when many people discover the album, they have no idea it was released in 2004. This is also due to Teedra using social media to her advantage. As the 2000s and 2010s rolled on, R&B dropped as a priority for many major labels. Teedra helped lay the groundwork for how R&B artists can promote themselves in the digital age. She also noticed streaming has helped her find a new audience, as the algorithm often puts her on a spectrum from Mary J. Blige to Erykah Badu. Be Your Girl was reinvented for a new generation when DJ K Trinata remixed the song. That version is a party favorite and has been used in a slew of social media content and TV shows. For the 15th anniversary of the album, she donated a portion of the proceeds to her charity Shirley's Angels, a nonprofit that helps single parents. And Teedra has gotten traction from other music she released, but she is still able to tour off Complex Simplicity. Seeing her create such a seamless era with limited resources makes many feel the industry shorted Teedra her just due, but she doesn't entertain the notion. She once took to her Instagram to say, "It's a beautiful thing to love your journey and have no regrets. You cannot imagine how many times I have heard, and still hear, that the music industry did me wrong and I should have been promoted better, or it's a shame that I am so underrated, but you'll never hear me complain about my beautiful journey. I was able to balance motherhood and the hustle. I travel around the world connecting with people that understand my heart. I never wanted fame. I just wanted to make money to take care of my sons because I couldn't suffer a 9-to-5. No disrespect. I just wanted the artists I respected to respect my talent. I accomplished these things and got so much more. I appreciate how the fans of my music want more people to know, but keep in mind, lovers, I own my publishing and majority of my masters, and I have amazing sons that love me and are my best friends. So if you value peace, love, happiness, and freedom like I do, you would consider me one of the wealthiest women in the world through the grace of God." Thank you for spending your time with us. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share. Also, please visit our website at www.BlackAmericanaMedia.com and sign up for our newsletter. And also be sure to check out our apparel linked in our YouTube store below. See you soon.